Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. We're here to pull apart the key ideas from, well, really impactful sources. Today, we're getting into Admiral William H. McRaven's book, Make Your Bed.
Yeah, it sounds almost deceptively simple, that title. But wow, it's packed with some really profound life lessons. Admiral McRaven, I mean, his background is incredible. Former U.S. Navy SEAL, four-star admiral. He uses all that experience to lay out these 10 principles.
Absolutely. And the core argument, really, is that you can build this life of, purpose and resilience, maybe even change the world, starting with tiny, consistent habits. It all started with that commencement speech he gave back in 2014, which just really went viral.
It absolutely did. And I think what makes the book so gripping is how he uses these really vivid stories, sometimes quite intense ones, from SEAL training. It makes the principles stick.
Yeah.
It's not just abstract advice. It's like rooted in hardcore experience.
Right. So our goal here today is to unpack those 10 lessons. We want to really understand why they work and how you, listening right now, can maybe start using them. We're aiming to go a bit deeper than just the summary. So think about how these small actions could actually ripple outwards in your own life. And hey, right off the bat, if you enjoy these kinds of in-depth discussions, maybe consider subscribing to the Book Talkers Podcast YouTube channel. We do this sort of thing regularly.
Okay, let's jump in. Lesson 1, it's right there in the title. Start your day with a task completed. Making your bed.
It almost sounds, well, too simple, doesn't it? Like, really, make my bed. But McRaven argues it's about building momentum. You get one thing done right away. A small win.
Exactly. It gives you that tiny sense of pride, accomplishment, and it sort of sets you up psychologically for the next task and the one after that. It's not really about the tidiness itself. It's about discipline.
Yeah.
Kicking off the day with intention.
Like setting a positive feedback loop from minute one. Okay, so the second lesson broadens the focus. You can't go it alone. Finding someone to help you paddle.
Yeah, this taps into, our basic need for connection, for support. Life throws challenges at you, right?
Yeah.
And having people, friends, mentors, family, whoever, offering guidance, encouragement, sometimes just a listening ear, it's vital.
He uses the analogy of paddling the inflatable boats in SEAL training, needing everyone working together.
Precisely. You need that teamwork to get through the rough water. And that translates directly to, well, everything else. Knowing you're not facing stuff completely alone is incredibly empowering.
Totally. And that idea of support, maybe it feeds into the next one. Lesson 3, only the size of your heart matters.
I think it does. This one shifts focus inward. It's saying, look, it's not about how big or strong you are physically or your status or whatever. It's about your determination, your spirit, your grit.
He tells stories about guys in training who maybe weren't the stereotypical super soldiers physically, but they just wouldn't quit. They had that internal drive.
Exactly. It's a powerful message telling you not to underestimate yourself based on, external appearances or what society might expect. Your willpower can carry you really far.
It's all about that inner resolve. Okay, lesson 4 takes a bit of a harsher turn. Get over being a sugar cookie.
Right, the sugar cookie. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a SEAL training thing where instructors might order trainees into the cold surf and then roll them in the sand until they're coated.
Often for no apparent reason, right? Just because.
Yeah, seemingly arbitrary.
Yeah.
And the lesson McRaven draws is pretty blunt. Life isn't always fair. Stuff happens.
And complaining about it, dwelling on the unfairness, it doesn't really achieve anything, does it?
Not really. It's unproductive. The key is resilience. Accepting that unfairness happens and figuring out how to keep moving forward anyway. Don't get stuck on why me.
Shift focus from the injustice to your own response. Adapt. Persevere. Okay. Lesson 5 takes us back to the grind. Don't be afraid of the circus. And actually, just a quick note here, if you're finding these lessons from Admiral McRaven useful, remember you can find more deep dives like this on the Book Talkers Podcast YouTube channel. Maybe check it out and consider subscribing if you like what you hear. We try to do these regularly.
Good point. So the circus, in SEAL training, this was like extra physical punishment, extra workouts dished out to trainees who failed a particular event or standard.
Sounds pretty brutal. Not something you'd volunteer for.
Definitely not. But the point McRaven makes is that experiencing failure, going through the circus, and learning from it actually made trainees stronger, more resilient.
So failure isn't the end of the road. It's actually data, an opportunity to improve.
Exactly. A chance to grow. It reframes setbacks. Instead of seeing them as defeats, see them as, okay, what can I learn here? How can I get better? It builds that mental toughness.
Embrace the struggle, essentially. Okay, lesson 6 encourages a bit more boldness. Slide down the obstacle head first.
Yeah, this one's about taking calculated risks.
Mm.
being bold. He talks about this specific obstacle on the course. I think it was a rope slide or something.
Yeah.
And the fastest, most efficient way down was actually head first, which looks, way more dangerous.
Counterintuitive.
Totally. But sometimes the direct, maybe slightly scary approach is actually the best one. Playing it too safe all the time can mean you miss opportunities or just get stuck.
So it's about assessing the risk, obviously, but not letting fear paralyze you. Sometimes you just got to go for it.
Calculated boldness. Now, lesson 7 tackles fear more directly. Don't back down from the sharks.
Okay, this sounds literal. Were there actual sharks?
Apparently, yes. During long ocean swims, encountering sharks was a real possibility. The training taught them how to handle it.
Wow, so the lesson is don't panic.
Pretty much. But more than that, it's about facing your fears, whatever they are. Maybe not literal sharks, but big challenges, intimidating situations, difficult people. You need to stand your ground, show courage. Don't let the fear overwhelm you. Confront it.
Right. Don't avoid the scary stuff. Develop the fortitude to deal with it. That leads kind of naturally into lesson 8. Be your very best in the darkest moments.
Yeah, this is about when true character shows itself. It's easy to be okay when things are going well, right? But how do you react when everything's falling apart, when you're under extreme pressure? That's when you find out what you're really made of.
So it's about finding that inner calm, that focus, that determination, precisely when things are toughest.
Exactly. Digging deep, finding strength you maybe didn't even know you had. Adversity reveals character, but it can also build it.
It's a powerful thought that the hardest times can actually forge you. Okay, lesson 9 offers a bit of, well, hope, I guess. Start singing when you're up to your neck in mud.
This is such a great story. He describes this exercise called Hell Week, and one part involves spending hours in freezing cold mud up to their necks. Utter misery.
Sounds absolutely dreadful.
Right. And everyone's shivering, morale is rock bottom, people are thinking of quitting, and then one trainee just starts singing. Off-key, probably, but singing nonetheless.
And what happened?
It changed the whole mood. Others started singing, or at least felt a little bit of camaraderie, a spark of defiance against the misery. It showed how one person's attitude, one small act of hope, can be contagious.
Wow. So even in the absolute worst situations, finding a sliver of positivity or creating it yourself can make a huge difference, not just for you, but for everyone around you.
Absolutely. Hope can be incredibly powerful. Which brings us to the final lesson, number 10. Don't ever, ever ring the bell.
The bell, that's the symbol for quitting in SEAL training, isn't it? Ring the bell and you're out.
That's right. So this lesson is the ultimate message of perseverance. Never quit. Never give up. No matter how hard it gets, how much you want to stop. Just keep going.
It's that absolute refusal to be defeated.
Yes. The underlying message is that the pain of pushing through is temporary, but the regret of quitting can last forever. Find that inner resolve to see it through.
Okay, so those are the 10 lessons. When you pull back and look at all of them, what are the main takeaways that kind of tie it all together?
Well, a few things really stand out. First, this idea that discipline creates freedom. Making your bed, these small acts, they build the self-control you need for bigger things. Second, you absolutely cannot underestimate the power of teamwork and support. You need your people.
And the third thing seems to be about adversity, doesn't it? Not just surviving it, but using it.
Exactly. Adversity is a training ground. It's where you build resilience, where you discover your strength. Life's going to be unfair. It's going to be hard. You're going to fail. That's part of the deal.
And ultimately, McRaven keeps coming back to choice. You always have a choice. Ring the bell or keep going.
That's the crux of it. And choosing to persevere time after time, that's what leads to, well, achieving difficult goals and becoming the person you want to be. It's not about one grand heroic act, usually. It's about consistency.
Right. Mastering the small things with courage and humility, day in, day out. The book has some really quotable lines too, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. The obvious one. If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. It just perfectly encapsulates that starting small idea.
Yeah. And I also liked hope is the most powerful force in the universe, especially after hearing that story about singing in the mud.
And then there's the very direct, very SEAL-like message. Life is full of difficult moments, but you must never give up. Simple but powerful coming from him.
So make your bed. It's short, it's direct, but it really delivers. It shows how these fundamental principles tested in extreme conditions are actually completely relevant to, well, just living a better, stronger life.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that significant impact, personal growth, it all stems from how you handle the small stuff consistently with courage and determination.
So for everyone listening, As you think about these 10 lessons from Admiral McRaven, maybe take a moment to consider how they might apply to you. What's one small thing, one habit or mindset shift you could commit to starting today, knowing it might create those positive ripples?
Yeah, that's a great question to ponder.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, if it gave you some things to think about, we'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button on this video. Also, let us know in the comments what other books have made a real impact on you. We're always looking for ideas for future deep dives.
We really are. Love getting suggestions.
And finally, please, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the Book Talkers Podcast YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell too so you don't miss out when we release new explorations of impactful books like this one. We hope you'll join us again soon for more great discussions.